Do I look like a sign painter to you? I'm a scribe. Do you know what a scribe is? A scribe is the elite scholar among the Jews. Do you know what it takes to become a scribe? We have to memorize the books of Moses. That's 5 books: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. 5 books. Word for word. We scribes are entrusted with the very words of God. So, naturally, when a messenger came requesting my presence at the governor's palace, I assumed that Governor Pilate wanted me to expound from my great knowledge of scriptures. But did he ask me to expound from my great knowledge of scriptures? No. He asked me how many languages I can read and write. Well, being a Bible scholar, I told him that I knew all 5 languages that all scribes know, plus 2 languages that most scribes don't know. I was right in the middle of listing my fluent languages when the governor rudely interrupted me. He said, "You'll do." I'll do what? You'll paint the sign, he demanded. Paint the sign? Well, I was right in the middle of telling this poor uninformed Roman bureaucrat that I'm not a common sign painter when he stopped me right in mid-sentence and reminded me of the Roman 1-mile law. The 1-mile law was instituted by Caesar a few years ago. It says that all non-citizens of Rome, that is just about everybody within 300 miles of the Mediterranean Sea, were required by law to carry the equipment of any Roman soldier who demands it up to 1 mile. What that law boils down to is, any Roman citizen can demand that any of us Jews must do just about anything he wants, and we can't say or do a thing about it. Well, I was right in the middle of a well-organized discourse on how that law couldn't possibly apply to us scribes when Governor Pilate pointed his bony little finger at me and shouted, "Guards, flog that man." All right, I'll paint your silly sign. You don't have to get huffy. I thought you'd see it my way. He said. What's the sign for? I asked. Roman law requires that when we execute a prisoner, we have to post a sign in 3 different languages telling the public what crimes he committed. You're not going to crucify anyone today, are you? Yes. Why? Well, everybody knows that tomorrow is a special Sabbath. What do I care about your silly Sabbaths? Well, I explained, crucifixion takes 3 days to kill the prisoner. You can't keep a Jew hanging for 3 days over the Sabbaths. Don't blame me. Pilate retorted. It was you Jews who demanded that Jesus be put to death immediately. Oh. This is the first time I've heard of this. Jesus was not my favorite person. He insulted virtually every scribe in Israel. But I wasn't even aware he had a trial. Pilate said. They had the trials last night. Last night? It's illegal for Jews to hold a trial at night. A man can't get a fair trial at night. Pilate snarled. Tell that to the Sanhedrin. It was your own people who convicted him. Well, Jesus is a jerk. I'm sure he had it coming. I suppose. All right, so, what do you want on the sign? What crimes was Jesus convicted of? The sign will read King of the Jews. Pilate demanded. That's it? King of the Jews? I thought you said the sign has to list the prisoner's crimes. Pilate just smiled. They didn't have any evidence against him. They just wanted him dead. Well, I wanted him dead too. But surely they could find something to convict him of. Pilate said, no. They couldn't get any 2 witnesses to agree on anything. The man is innocent. I flogged him 39 times with the cat of 9 tails and I couldn't get him to confess anything. But you're going to kill him anyway? I couldn't talk them out of it. Your friends in the Sanhedrin almost started a riot. I had to choose between the lesser of 2 evils. So, go ahead and write the sign. But, I protested. Can't the sign at least say that Jesus claimed to be the King of the Jews? Then Pilate pointed his bony little finger at me and says, I'm not going to have any trouble from you, am I? No, no. So, I wrote the sign in big letters in Latin, Greek and in Aramaic, Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. I just wanted you to know. It wasn't my idea. Based on a play by Bob Snook. Conditions for use: do not sell any part of this script, even if you rewrite it. Pay no royalties, even if you make money from performances. You may reproduce and distribute this script freely, but all copies must contain this copyright statement.